Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius, February 3, 2022. You could decide to join a new community group. You might be drawn to a particular church or temple. Or you could become interested in a meditation group. You might even enjoy an alternative form of spiritual practice, such as Native American drumming circles, channeling sessions, or group rituals. You need to bond with people who are on a similar path. You might enjoy learning about some new spiritual techniques. A long-awaited romantic encounter may be cancelled, or it may prove to be not as rewarding as you had hoped. For this reason, doubts and uncertainties about the future of this relationship could rear their ugly heads. This is not the day to make any final decisions about serious matters such as this. Wait a few days until you feel a little more confident and clear-headed, then make up your mind. Today you may feel that the people at work don't understand a lot of the basics of good work habits. Some of them may take it upon themselves to do what they weren't even asked to do, while others will only do exactly what they are told. If you feel that these poor work habits are a detriment to the efficient running of your company, do not hesitate to say something about it today. Your boss may be only happy to see that you really care about where the company is headed. You may be anxious to get some new projects underway today, even though they are not necessarily ready or well thought out. You must first learn that patience is the key. Take your time. Jumping the gun could cause a false start that might get you disqualified from the race entirely. Avoid this fate by playing it cool and laying low. Keep your big guns under wraps for a while. You don't need to bring out all the heavy artillery yet. Relations and friends are having a hard time with you and vice versa. Put an end to this mutual feeling of frustration, be honest with yourself and consider compromising on some points. Talking to people to clear things up is also a big help. Regard today's negative atmosphere as an opportunity to resolve conflicts permanently. Don't expect much social action, do your own thing at your own pace. Everything slows down a little around you because everybody seems to inhabit their own low-key universe. Whatever you try to achieve is criticized and unlikely to be accepted in a very favorable way, especially if you feel undue pressure to perform any kind of activity. It is far better to delay important activities or decisions until you feel positive about the outcome. Use your sense of humor to relieve any tension. Something in the air today incites conflict. People around you seem overly sensitive and ready to fight over the slightest thing. You are sensitive to this kind of ambience and do your best to calm things down. But today, you are powerless against the elements. It's best to look after yourself and try to ignore the firestorm raging around you. Today you should meet someone or be in union or collaboration. But if the situation isn't conducive for this, a breakup, which is related to your past, could be in the air. In reality, everything will depend on your situation. If it is good, it will only be better. If it is bad, you could be the person who makes things deteriorate. Be careful, despite everything, to preserve those close to you from a possible crisis. Today is an interesting day for you, in which you might feel like you are in the crossfire of a battle that doesn't really have anything to do with you. You may find that you are carefully examining both sides, but hesitant to commit to anything definite. This is fine. Realize, however, that aspects of this conflict do indeed involve you. You will be affected by its outcome and you definitely have a voice in the matter. As an asteroid, Juno might be a tiny player, but all the focus is on her today as she leaves your work sector and returns to your relationship sector. At any other time, this wouldn't be as auspicious, but it all comes down to the timing. As she leaves your work sector, Juno leaves you with a sense of conviction and determination, just as there is some real momentum building. At the same time, as the queen of commitment and especially commitment to your relationships, Juno's return to your relationship sector, just a day after a new moon created an opportunity for new beginnings, comes with perfect timing. The moon is still in your relationship sector after yesterday's new moon when the asteroid Juno makes a timely return today. Juno is the queen of commitment, and especially commitment to your relationships, and her first visit in 4 years comes with perfect timing, and just as a new moon has brought an opportunity for a fresh start. Today's celestial energy is a continuation of yesterday's vibe. Creativity is in the air, urging you to use your innate artistry and harness your talents. Mars in Cancer gives the moon a chance to take action and make things happen. It also gives us the gusto to finish projects. However, Mars could distract us from the task at hand because you'll probably also be dealing some serious emotions. Saturn retrograde in Aquarius squares off with the moon, limiting our emotional response to matters. There is a chance that you'll be moved toward growing and evolving today, but only if you're willing to do it and want to change. Neptune in Pisces also connects with the Taurus moon to make us feel as though we're lost in a daydream or an emotional fog. Take the time to rest, and don't push yourself to the limit. This cosmic connection can cause anxiety and stress, which is opposite the vibe we're trying to attain, so be careful not to overextend yourself. Finally, Pluto connects with the moon overnight, giving you the power and authority to set your life in motion after the emotional roller coaster and dreaminess of the day. Just after midnight, the Taurus moon aligns with radical changemaker Uranus. If we are asleep, we might suddenly awaken, compelled to write down information we had forgotten in the day, record a dream, or journal. This influence stimulates our intuition and will make us hyper-aware of our surroundings, which might be beneficial if we have been deluding ourselves in some matter. Perhaps a living situation has become untenable, or we have mismanaged finances. However, the Moon-Uranus conjunction might also cause us to feel unwarranted anxieties about circumstances that are more stable than we perceive. Attempt to tune out of the rational mind and tune into instinct. At our core, we know what is true. Go with your gut and elect to make the necessary adjustments once the sun is up. Following this connection, the moon squares Saturn in Aquarius, intensifying feelings of guilt or remorse. The idea that changes not only must be made, but are inevitable, is disquieting to the Taurus moon, which values comfort and peace. Saturn's appearance encourages us to accept that we have a duty, not only to our own overall happiness, but to those within the community at large. But at this moment, we might resist, looking instead for someone or something to blame. Others' lack of understanding or empathy for our dilemma might read to us as cruel now, but they are likely not trying to be cold or harsh. They simply expect us to rise to the occasion and be adults. Time to ourselves may be required to avoid acting in ways we might later regret. However, it can also mean that boundaries need to be put in place because Jupiter expands without a care, and Pisces is like ocean waves rising and falling without borders. However, it will make your life a whole lot easier if you make a few adjustments in order to make your life easier.